my god! You will not believe what is happening. You were listening to the life of a content-creating college student. I'm just a high schooler, but this student knows what he's talking about. Take his advice. I must be leaving, but remember, you are much stronger than you think you are. See you!
Coursework, financial aid, followers, copyright strikes, and more. You are listening to the Life of a Content Creating College Student podcast starring Wayne Z0207 and Charlotte Waite.
Good evening once again, folks. My name is Colton W. Hurst, also known as Wayne Z0207 on the internet. I am your host for this podcast.
Hello, and I am Charlotte, Colton's top advisor.
And co-host, not to mention. And we welcome you to the 4th episode of the Life of a Content Creating College Student. And I'm not here alone. We're joined by a special guest introducing
Louise.
Louise, do you want to tell us your position and top?
I am a top mentor and also a top student. And
Wow, that's amazing.
And you are also an engineering student, yeah?
yeah, I am. I'm a computer science major.
Wow, computer science, that's astounding. I imagine you must have some experience as a content creator, huh?
I wouldn't say I have some experience, but I would say I like to view content creators, so
Ah,
I can experience some points
yes.
of that.
which one is your favorite?
Currently, I like this fitness influencer. His name's where he goes by Team Dial,
Oh,
and yeah, I do enjoy watching him.
maybe some fitness junkie out there might want to check him out. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and go on with the questions. Plan ahead and fire away.
Yeah. Colton, I would love to hear about your week this week, and specifically 2 things that went well for you.
Oh yes, my team and I have been working on the final project for Engineering 111, and it's amazing. The prototype was made of balsa wood and cardboard construction. The final product was made solely out of balsa wood. So, I do believe you remember that we were designing Da Vinci's hang glider. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. So we finished the project. It's not as complete as we thought it would be, but it's still amazing. What was missing was the tail and the wheels. And plus, we really can't fit a person inside there. But however, I did take it home with me. It's currently at my mom's, so.
On display?
Yes, but my dad is going to take it with us, and Dad and I are going to finish off the project. What couldn't be finished.
Okay, nice. Does it fly without the tail and the wheels?
It could, but we haven't really tested that out. We haven't done a flight test.
Oh,
needless
okay.
To say.
Yeah, you don't want to break it
Right.
until...
Did you have to do any final projects for one of your classes?
Yeah, I would had to finish a lab.
Oh, a lab?
Yeah.
Do tell us what it entailed.
It's called SPI, which is a serial peripheral interface, and we're kind of just learning how to implement timing in with our chip
Wow.
or board in this case.
That's very shocking. Really, computer science is intriguing.
It is.
So anyways, we all dressed up as sharply as we could and made an effort to acing the presentation and showing the ingenuity behind the Da Vinci hang glider.
Oh, is that why you look so nice today?
Well, that was yesterday, I'm afraid.
Oh,
okay. I figured I'd round it up with a nice black tie attire for Friday, just before finals.
Colton is looking very snazzy today. He has a very nice suit jacket on with a bow tie and even a pocket square. He is looking very sharp.
Yes, absolutely. I always do that for all of my content. So if you all are curious, I'm wearing an Oscar de la Renta suit. It's one of the top brands.
And I'm wearing my sweats. So we make the very interesting pair sitting next to each other.
So anyways, outside of the Da Vinci hang glider, my chemistry professor was understanding of my circumstances in preparing for finals and made sure all my grades were intact. Speaking of which, I guess I should probably get to my setback before I even explain what went down.
Oh,
So I focused on wrapping up all my coursework and all my classes and began preparation for my final exams. Oh wait, that's a different question. So Math 101 had been bogging me down as I wrapped things up.
Oh, yeah.
I have been attending tutoring and study sessions to make up for lost time. Needless to say, I'm trying to remain gracious and remember this isn't a marathon, not a sprint. Not to mention another mishap happened in chemistry regarding my lab. It's the same incident that happened last time. A 0 had happened because the assignment was somehow missing. Either I turned it in already, and the professor hadn't even found it and graded it yet, or I misplaced it somewhere. Turns out, I misplaced it.
Oh, no.
But my professor was understanding of my circumstances and corrected my grade.
Oh.
Not as good.
Where did you misplace it?
I misplaced it in my folder.
Oh.
It was... I can't even describe the clutter.
Yeah.
But luckily enough, once the term's over, I'll be getting some folders to store all my previous coursework on, so that way I ensure none of these mishaps happen again. Plus, I'll have a reference
Oh,
to
good.
look back on if I
Yeah.
ever need it.
And a lesson learned.
Yes. And speaking of which, could you ask me the question that follows the second question?
Yeah. So what is one thing that you can take away from your chemistry mishap? And what's one thing you can improve on?
So starting next term, I can take upon the advice I got from my Engineering 111 class and the Dean of Students, Dr. Aaron Foley. For every hour in class, I can commit to 2 hours of studying these subjects. I can look at my schedule and to see how many hours of study I'm committing to and determine if I'm meeting my quota or at the very least understanding the material taught. And also, not to misplace my labs.
Yeah, very important.
Just designate a spot where all finished work can be turned in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. Just being pretty organized, making sure everything's in the right place.
How do you stay organized, Louise?
Usually I like to figure out, when I need to turn it by or turn in the assignment and do whatever is, what I have less time to work on is usually the things that I work on the most.
Oh, yes.
Go down
that
the
is
list.
especially important.
Mhm.
Have you had to experience that kind of clutter yet? Where you can't even find your assignments, and even sometimes your assignments can spill in all your previous work.
Yeah, I would say I have experiences like that. Misplacing something or not turning the assignment in correctly. And
Anything recent?
anything recent? Yeah, I would say, I kind of forget about, when I need to turn it in. And so the next day later, I send an email saying to my professor that, oh, I'm sorry that I, didn't turn it in on time, but I had the assignment completed, of course.
yes.
And usually my professor understands.
Oh, yes,
And
definitely.
He'll give me the grade that I got.
Oh, yes. And from what I discussed last time, I had this schedule set up where I can balance out everything, including my content creating work. Sing, dance, and frolic.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned that in our previous
You
episode.
did. Can you remind us what it stands for again?
Studies come first, duties come second, free time comes last. Which is why it's important to schedule yourself some free time. I mean, grab a coffee with someone, or spend some
Or a
time in the
mocha.
arcade.
If you don't like the taste of coffee, a mocha.
Yes. No, man. I would really like it if someone came and had a mocha with me this week. I mean, like, really. I mean, like, I need that social interaction. I don't get to go out much anymore except with my mom, so I kind of get tied up in my work. That's really not good.
You should ask someone from the top program.
Okay, definitely. Anyways, I went to the study session with Dr. Nog. However, he wasn't there to be precise. However, the session
Dr.
did...
Nagy, like the president of Oregon Tech.
Yes.
Dr. Nagy. Wow.
Yeah, he had
You meet with him?
We had there was a study session, but however, on that study session, he had to go to Portland because of the weather, and he wasn't there, so someone else was taking his place.
Oh,
Must have been a very busy guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
He is very busy, needless to say. But regardless, it was pretty helpful. I got some inspiration to get everything done and come up with a plan of action.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I created a dead week scenario.
Ooh, what is this scenario?
So the dead week scenario describes when there's not really a dead week, but you're all caught up on your coursework assignments and any other projects you need to work on. So you create a dead week scenario by getting caught up on everything, making sure everything's in early, and then you have the entirety of that week, and then up until finals to study. Not only that, but any additional lecture notes you take can help you study for those finals.
Yeah.
Sounds very successful.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you take excellent notes. Colton, would you mind telling the people which type of notes you take?
I take Cornell notes.
Nice.
So you fold one corner, like this. So I'm not sure if you can
folding
barely see
about
this.
a fourth of the page,
On the left,
hot
and the
dog
right side.
style.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you fold up about
From the bottom,
Mhm.
hamburger style.
yep. And then the left is for your important points, right's for your questions. Central part of it is just your general notes. Then the bottom is one thing you've learned from the lecture.
Yeah. Colton is always very organized in our
Mhm.
ACAD class.
And I forgot to answer the question that follows up on question 1 too.
Oh, so when we were talking about 2 things that went well this week, you discussed your Engineering 111
Mhm.
project. And with that final project, how did you grow from it and what did you gain out of it?
Well, I learned to discuss things with my teammates, and I learned to stay organized. And like I said earlier, make sure I'm not displaced with any of my assignments. Not only that, but getting the chemistry lab sorted out, corrected the grade, and as a result, I maintained an A in chemistry lab, securing
Woo!
that grade. I've not only secured an A in that class, but I've also secured it in ACAD and
Nice.
MMET.
Hey, congratulations!
Yep.
You deserve to
Yeah.
celebrate.
Yep. And I do anticipate that writing 121 is going to be an A as well.
Nice, Colton.
That is
All that's
good.
left is math and chemistry, and then all I have to do is apply myself, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
4.0, good game.
Mars, here you come.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Colton, I want to know a little bit more about what you did as a college student this week.
Overall, I focused on wrapping up my coursework in all my classes and began preparation for final exams. My team and I did our preparation for the Engineering 111 final project, discussing the hang glider, its features, and its history. And we did our final chemistry lab and wrapped up pH and everything else we had to learn. In writing 121, we submitted our green books one final time, and we delved into our final assignment for the class, which was a reflection memo. So it's basically addressing it to someone who is interested in your education, and you tell them about your progress in writing 121, as well as your future goals in writing, and anything else you wanted to add.
Oh, nice. Who did you partner with on that?
Well, I did not partner up with anyone on that assignment, but I addressed it to the ones that I trusted most.
Oh, nice.
5 people to be precise. And that was it.
Oh,
It's just so nice to have a group that you can rely on.
yeah.
Someone who you care about dearly. People who you can rely on. People who can rely on you.
Yeah. I think that's one of the
Mhm.
most important parts about being in college is
Yes.
those that surround you
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that they
Yes.
really
Mhm.
support you, they uplift
Yes.
you,
Mhm.
and they motivate you.
Yes, exactly. That's what makes Oregon Tech so great, is that we have a supportive community.
Yeah, that is
Mhm.
true.
So, how do you use your teammates to help you succeed, and how do you back them up as well?
Usually, let's say I'm getting stuck in a problem, I'd ask for help from others, of course, and they'll guide me to a place where I can understand the topic and learn from the topic, and that's how I feel like the community helps me or
Yes,
my
absolutely.
students or my friends.
Do you use peer tutoring, or are you one yourself? Actually, you are a tutor, aren't
He
you?
does tutor, yeah.
I do tutor. I was tutoring this student the other day that needed help coding, and I did that. But usually, I find myself asking questions to the professor about certain topics that we're going through.
Yes, as I stated earlier, I learned the best from the best. That is always a plus for me, is if I can learn from the very best, I am achieving my goals, everything is just looking grand. It doesn't matter, just as long as I get to understand the material. That's what matters overall.
Huh.
So, as long as I can get my coursework in and understand the material to ace those quizzes and such, I'm good to go.
Oh, good. Good.
Mm-hmm. And then, I do believe you had something to ask for me, Louise.
Yeah, what can you do to enhance your studies based on your experience?
Now you do mention it, I can refrain from burning myself out. Like I said earlier, I need to recognize that college is not a sprint, but a marathon. This inspiration is what I received from the Tamam Waritu workshop during flight school.
Yeah. He was awesome, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. In fact, I'm connected with him on LinkedIn.
Oh, really?
Shout out to you if you're watching.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, and I'm also connected with Desiree and you and Claire. I'm also connected with Dr. Foley. And I'm also connected with Mariano Segura. He graduated from Oregon Tech as a mechanical engineer, and he's currently in an internship with Virgin Galactic.
Ooh, that sounds very fancy.
Oh, yes, and he went to Mazama, too.
Oh, wow. Very similar to your story and your journey.
Yes. I have a feeling that I might be discovering I'm never one of my echoes. If any of you get the reference.
Nice.
So needless to say, I did a pretty good job as a college student.
Yeah. How about as a content creator?
I updated the episode format for this podcast, and I have been debating on when I should resume live streaming. On one hand, resuming streaming on December 24th would help me achieve more, giving me some satisfaction from what I could not achieve during fall term. On the other hand, resuming on the 14th would give me some time to relax and solely focus on relaxation. But I'm not sure what to decide. Wait! There's a poll in the description. I forgot to mention that. I created a Microsoft form. It's different from a Google form. I'm improving on Microsoft program skills. So on that form, you can vote on which day you want me to resume live streaming. Do you want me to take my time, or do you really miss me that much? I mean, I'm fine with how it can turn out either way, but I'm gonna let you decide on that.
When was the last time you live streamed?
I do believe it was just before college started. It was, let me look on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
It was on, if I do remember correctly, September 24th.
Wow, you've been on a long hiatus.
Yes, quite a long hiatus for fall term.
I bet your fans miss you.
Yes, they do. Needless to say, I miss them too. And I'm so glad I get to interact with all you folks. And not to mention, throughout the week, the Waynesy0207 Facebook page earned the Rising Creator status.
Woo! Congratulations!
Thank you so much.
I know you were so excited about that, and I was so excited when I saw you share it on Facebook.
Oh yes, it's quite a momentous accomplishment.
Yeah.
So what the Rising Creator status is, your content is generating so much attention that you're becoming popular among your group of content creators. And so you end up within a top range percentage under fair and legitimate circumstances and originality, and you get Rising Creator status for the week.
Nice! I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Yeah.
I really like how this turned out. Have you? I know you haven't had any experience with content creation, but have you thought about it?
Yeah, I think I always wanted to. I used to watch a lot of Minecraft back in the day, and the Minecraft.
Oh yes. Are you
streamers.
thinking about doing gameplays or reviews or live streams? What are you thinking about?
I would honestly probably do everything, right?
Oh,
Personal
yes.
life, I guess, games. I do like to play games now and then. And I might
have quite a bit to teach you. I'm gonna have to get you set up with OBS Studio.
Yeah, you
Which-
might have to.
which is what I use to stream and what I use to record. In fact, I'm using this to record in coalition with my Clipchamp audio and video editor. It's a Never Microsoft program that Microsoft invented. It's unlike all the other programs which cost money. It's free, but there is an expert's subscription. I think if I got the license for that, I would have access to those premium features as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get the license to use all those premium features of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, I can get the premium features for forms and everything else as well. I've used Microsoft Word to update the format of this podcast,
Yeah.
which is why there's more questions and more speaking time with Charlotte.
Thank you, Colton. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think Louise has a question for
Yeah.
you too.
What can you do to enhance your content based on your experience?
When I resume streaming, I could get to know my audience a little bit by playing Jackbox games on the Xbox.
That is so exciting.
Yes.
I'm really excited about that idea
Yes.
for you. I love Jackbox games.
Yes, I do believe we discussed this in episode 3.
Oh yes.
And I do
I'm a broken record.
Oh yes. And plus, I absolutely eliminated someone in Trivia Murder Party with a perfect memory.
Yes.
I mean, like 6 in a row.
You did.
Oh my goodness.
You were there, weren't you?
I'm pretty sure I
For
was.
Top Tuesday? Were
Yep.
you one of the ones that he eliminated?
Yeah.
I know I was. I got out really, really fast during the first one.
Man. Okay. Yeah, this is proof that my gaming skills are pretty expertise. As a
Yeah.
part of
If you're going against Louise,
Mhm.
I wouldn't say anything about my skills. They're pretty
Right.
bad. But
Right, but so in regards to my gaming skills, I actually invented something to describe gaming skills called the gamer level. It's on a 1 to 5 scale, and how gamer level is determined is through the gamer level evaluation test. We play the 4 main games that I play on my streams, and depending on your performance, that is determined by set criteria and set circumstances. Your gamer level can go from a 1 to a 5 pretty fast. However, all I'm going to say is that my gamer level is top secret intel within Hearst Entertainment's database. Only the former Hearst Entertainment volunteers and those who I love and trust dearly know what my gamer level is. It's
dun,
that
dun,
good.
dun. Mysterious.
Yes, very mysterious indeed. If the secret of my gamer level were to go out, I imagine there would be mass panic amongst the public. Don't
I
want
imagine that too.
So, Hearst Entertainment is, in a sense, like an agency too. But,
What do you think your gamer level would be?
I wouldn't. I can't even tell you. I wouldn't know.
okay, so you are right. Your gamer level is undetermined because you haven't taken the GLET. Once the GLET is administered, we can determine your gamer level.
Nice.
And so, aside from that, I would need to get some additional storage or freeze some in order to get those Jackbox games. I will likely be getting additional storage. This is because some of the major games I play on stream need updates. I can't play them until I install said updates. I didn't want to delete any other games that could be major, so I figure it would be a better route than trying to uninstall games, only to get demand for me to play them later on, and not have them on hand necessarily.
Yeah. How many games would you say that you have on your Xbox?
A few, but not as many as 50 or anything like that. I'd
Ooh,
say
wow.
10
That's
to
a lot.
12.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a fair amount.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, needless to say, I think I might have played The Sims 4 before. And that was one of the games I had to uninstall.
Yeah, that takes up a lot of storage.
Yeah, but I imagine if the demand comes up for it, I might do a Let's Play on that. I've also been considering doing Let's Plays for my content every now and then. And I figured one of the first games that I would play for my Let's Plays would be Infamous, revolving around the story of Cole McGrath, a man who dropped out of college and took a job as a bike courier, and one day when he was delivering a package, that package actually found him. Turns out it was the ray spear that gave everyone powers, but at the cost of lives. And so he can either use his powers to save the world, or literally put everyone through living misery.
Oh my goodness.
But either way, he has some problems that he has to sort out, and things he needs to do in order to get things back to normal.
Is it more of a plot-driven game?
I'd say so, and it can also be a destruction sandbox, as far as what people have been saying about the game.
How do you play it? Do you?
I haven't played Infamous, but I have played PlayStation All Stars,
Oh,
which
okay.
did in fact feature Cole McGrath. He was one of the playable characters as well as his evil counterpart, Evil Cole.
Oh,
And so, depending
aptly named.
yes. Anyways, moving on to wrapping up what college events or club meetings did I attend this week.
Yeah, Colton, did you attend any college events or club meetings?
I attended that week's study session with Dr. Nagi, but however, like I said, he did not show up because he had to run to Portland early because of the weather. I tackled the rest of the coursework with some help from my tutors and created a dead week scenario to help prepare for finals.
Mm-hmm.
And because I did so well with my studies, I also took the time to relax a bit this weekend and volunteered at the snowflake parade downtown.
You did?
Yes, I did.
How was it?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, at the beginning, I had to wait for everyone, and so it was rough trying to warm up my hands while Mom was delivering the warm clothes.
Oh, okay.
But luckily enough,
Extra layers.
someone came and got me, and I warmed up pretty quick.
Oh, good. Was it pretty cold while you're
Yeah.
on the
It was
Well-
fairly cold, but we were given hand warmers and such. The
Mhm.
service was just amazing, and I did my extra credit assignment on writing 121 for a 2-page review on that specifically. I got
Oh.
plenty of admiration from citizens of Klamath County and saw some familiar faces.
Nice. Did you see some faces that you hadn't seen in a while?
I did see Uncle Ben. I hadn't seen him in a few weeks, but it was great to see him, and I even saw Katie Peterson. Shout out to you.
Oh, nice.
So there was
Good.
quite a bit of people that attended the parade, even Shay from flight school.
Oh, yeah. Did you attend, Louise?
No, I didn't attend actually.
Why not?
Didn't know it was occurring,
Man.
but it sounds exciting.
It would have been amazing. I mean, like, that's what made my transition into college so amazing. I even broadened my horizons and expanded my diet a little bit.
Oh, expanded your diet.
Yes.
Well, I have another question for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well did this help you get involved with the Oregon Tech or the Klamath community, and why?
I'd say a solid 7. It was nice that I made the study section, but Dr. Nage wasn't there, and I was not willing to stick around to get divided help learning my subjects. I wound up heading home and made an effort to do coursework on my own that day, but I got plenty of help throughout the week anyways, and made a plan to ace my finals regardless. This was no concern. What really helped me get involved in the community was I enjoyed being part of the people who handed out candy and speaking to all my beloved fans, albeit for a brief period of time. We were moving pretty quickly.
Mhm.
I am so grateful for all the support that I get every day from those who turn into my content and enjoy what I have to produce. Needless to say, people liked how I was going around and saying Merry Christmas and that Oregon Tech loves everyone. Klamath community is so amazing. Klamath Falls, just local.
Yeah.
Some people may have different thoughts, but I wouldn't have it any other way, in all seriousness.
It's one of the beauties of being in a smaller community is that connectedness.
Yes, absolutely.
And-
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, from an outsider because you moved to Oregon Tech from out of town.
Yeah, I moved here not so long ago. I started doing my studies in 2020 as a, coming from high school. And I think Klamath Falls is really small,
Yes.
same size as my other place back home. And I think the community is really tight here.
Yeah,
So
although the bigger communities have some landmarks and such, they don't have that same kind of feel with the connectedness. I mean, like, some of the faces that you might recognize, you'll hardly run into them unless you schedule time for them. But it's important to schedule time regardless, because you need that social interaction with familiar faces and people who you care about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's part of our human nature.
it is. Yeah.
We are based off of connections and logistics and overall having a good time. We're pretty unique in our own sense.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that the human race is making contributions to make this world a better place.
Scared me.
Oh, shucks. That took me by surprise.
You really scared me. I thought we're talking about friendships and how sweet. I was like, oh, this is so nice. And then wow, that really scared me.
That sucks. We're out of time, folks. So, anyways, be sure to vote in the polls because depending on whether which date you sign up for, which date you vote on the poll, either the next time you'll see me or at least hear of me, the great Waynesy0207, the fourth wall breaking one man army, will either be in the 5th episode of our podcast or in my big return to streaming on Twitch. So, needless to say, that is where I'll be streaming from this point onward. Don't worry, Facebook viewers. I'll be checking in with you. Don't worry. You might even get some VODs, too. So, I get to experiment with that as well.
Nice.
But sadly, you won't get to see any streams on Facebook anymore. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, this was a great episode, and thank you so much to our guest, Louise.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And the reason why I say the next time you see me is either when episode 5 comes out in the winter term or I return on Twitch during the winter break is because Charlotte will be headed out next week.
Yeah. I'll be on an airplane during the time we usually record. So I'll bid you adieu, and I'll see you in January.
Okay. With that being said, thank you so much for listening. And remember, there will be disappointments in life, but us humans have the power to turn those disappointments into accomplishments. This is Waynesy0207, a.k.a. Colton W. Hurst, a.k.a. Fourth Wall Breaking, One Man Army. Signing out, folks. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.